First speaker, please. Hello. July.
Hello.
Okay, she's there. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Yes. So should I start speaking?
No, not yet. One
Okay.
moment. Okay, we are going to start. So I will start to introducing myself. I am Leah Shortino. I am the founder of SEA-Junction. And SEA-Junction is this place that you see, a public venue focusing on Southeast Asia. And since the coup in Myanmar, we have been quite active in trying to inform the public about what is happening there and also advocate for a new Burma in the future. As part of this activity, we have done many exhibitions, of which the last one is the one that you see here with artwork from Doh Hlay. And Doh Hlay is a collective of young upcoming artists from Myanmar, some serious and some upcoming, no, senior, not serious, senior artists and some upcoming artists. And we have done 2 exhibitions. The first was an anniversary of the coup, and this is the second part that is you can see on the 3rd floor downstairs here, which has got already quite a lot of attention. And today the topic is indeed about resistant art. So the first launch was more about the political situation in Myanmar. We had Gwen, one of the speakers of the last event, Gwen Robinson in the back was also here for that launch. But today we want to focus more on the artistic part, and particular on the role of art for resistance. So we have 4 speakers who will reflect on this theme from their own perspective. The first, July, with a name, it's a fake name, of course, is the one you see on the monitor. She's not using her own name, but she will be talking about the artwork that are exhibited here, and as well as her own thinking about the role of art. Then we have Saumu, sorry for misspelling, but he's from AJAR, an organization working on transitional justice, and he will reflect from that particular perspective. Tetsue Win, here also together. He is based in Mysore and with an organization calling Synergy, which is focused on interfaith issues since the Rohingya exodus, even before that. So very important issue, and continue to be a key actor based in Mysore. And then finally, we have also a Thai speaker, Jarunan, sorry. And she is the co-founder of B-Floor, and B-Floor is one of the theater here in Thailand, quite renowned and often very progressive play, including political play, and they have also an interest in Myanmar. So without further ado, so July, you are the first one, so please.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Mingalaba. So I just want to refer to myself as July, the whole session. And I'm speaking from Yangon now. I think some of you may already seen the artwork on the 3rd floor. If not yet, please go and see and enjoy the artwork there. So I will talk more about the art pieces exhibition there that have connection with me. So I want to start talking about my individual work. So you may see the work with the peacock marks and the peacock face, and then there are so many responses from the audience, and I'm really surprised when I saw the photo of the so many responses from the audience and their expressions, because most of my artwork I'm trying to do more in the expressive art approach and in the participatory or community approach. So that is one of the piece. If you haven't done the responses, please go and express yourself on the marks. And another few pieces that there will be a video piece. That is a piece I done together with some other artists, and then the youth community from Kachin State. So I want to talk more about that project. And so that project is it successfully done, but it has so many challenges and so many issue throughout the project, because we even think this cannot be done. This cannot be finished at the start, because as you already know, the issue around the Kachin State in the few months, because this project we plan to do around 2022 October, November, December, and then there is a very unstable situation during around that time. So first, our plan is like, because I was based in Yangon, but I already have a connection with the local people, and then also the community there, because I stay residency in the area last year around 2021, end of 2021 to the start of 2022. So, and then there is also some artists who keep staying at the area. So I collaborate with 3 more artists. And then in our project, I want to introduce, like we have, including me, there is one artist. He is a dancer and also photographer. You will see his photograph in the exhibition as well. I think in the title of Marty Man. And he is also from Yangon. And then another artist, he is involved mainly with the youth workshop in this project, and he is from the middle of Myanmar. And another girl, her photography piece also is a bit there. Only you can know once you are part of that is her pieces. And then she's a half Kachin and half Shan. So 3 of them and me, we stay residency together in last year, and then 3 of them are staying at the area. And our project also collaborate with 2 local youth leader. And then 6 of us lead the project together. So the whole process, as I cannot be there in the person, so I'm trying my best. I visit some places that I can visit somewhere in the middle, and then we do some brainstorming together, discussion together, and then the remaining artists and the youth leader, they conduct a series of workshops. I'm from online, and then they do the physical one. So that's why we have so many challenges. And then also the area became like a little bit unstable. So they also have so much difficult for gathering the youth in one place, or doing, because first we think like we have planned like we will do like few workshop, and then we will make the art piece, but it is not possible. It have to be done so many separate workshop because of the situation and stable condition around that area. But finally, we are able to done the piece successfully. I hope so. And then I hope you may also able to watch it and then can reflect what are their feeling, expressing, and so on. So the art piece itself, it is like a process based, even though you see the out like a result video piece performance, but it is not like at the end of the process. It is like the process stay ongoing about how the youth from that area, how they are feeling, how they are struggling, what they hope for, and then how they want their future to be. So, and then I also want to highlight about the strengths of the project, because as I already introduced, our group involved different ethnic group and then the people from different areas. So also our team have different strengths and then expertise. So that is the best thing in our collective thing. I think that's why we are able to make this piece successfully, because of we respect each other, we try to understand each other, and then in this situation, it's really difficult to create such kind of pieces with the community, especially the community art pieces. But I'm really glad we did it. And then I'm really proud for the group as well, for the youth as well. They also have to struggle a lot to be able to participate in this, to done these pieces as well. So you will also see the video with the, there is the marks. The marks is also the process of their expression, and that come from the issue, not only from the you will see like a 7 dancer, the performer, but the reflection piece and the concept behind it is not only from them, it's also from their friends as well, even though they are not involved in the performance. So I want to share about that. And I also want to highlight about the importance of art in the community development, and the how expressive art approach can successfully, how to say, with the expressive art approach, we can connect with the youth, even we are in the different languages, even we are in the different cultural and the different contexts. But with the expressive approach, we are successfully able to done such kind of project. So yeah, this is the thing I want to share in this speaking. So thank you very much. And then I really hope you, if you haven't done watching the pieces, yes, please go and see.
Thank you very much, July. And indeed, there are 2 of the pieces, maybe the one who have already seen the exhibition below. There is this story about the parrots, and basically is how the context made people not think. You are used not to pose question. And then the final question of this artwork is, are you a parrot? And that is what people have reacted to with posting some of the messages on the wall. And the other one is indeed the performance art on video, and as well there are photos of that. So there are different artwork on the 3rd floor. You may have already seen some, but if no, indeed, please go and look after this launch. Now we go now to Zaumu, please. You can, we leave him for later, but you can fight over this. Okay, you can take the microphone. We have a lot of microphones, so.
Okay, he just want to pass it to me. Hello, everyone, again. My name is Doh Hlay. I am the activist and executive director of the organization called Synergy Social Harmony Organization. And I'm also one of the civil society representatives to the NUCC, National Unity Consultative Council. So yeah, Yeah, since this is the art-related activity, but it's also related to our revolution as well. Of course, indeed, this is like already our revolution is already 2 years, but it is unfortunately and like forgotten, issue of the war. After the Afghanistan things and after the Ukraine war, for like most of the people from the war, when we talk about Burma, like they think, oh yeah, I heard something about Burma. What is happening there? Like they don't really know what is really happening. Like as you heard from the artists over there that the situation inside the Burma, you can see through these art, and but the situation inside the country is really getting worse day by day, and like about the half of the country inside is now under civil war, like about 150 township or something. It's like having fighting every day, and a lot of young people in the country dying and being tortured, being impersonated, um, and also the young people are like willingly to join the armed revolution to fight back the Burmese military, because we know that we have no savior. No one from the war will save us. So we have to. I also saw one art piece over there that is written in, what is it? Written in Pali language called Atahi Ad Non Nato. This means that I have to save myself. There's no supreme savior kind of thing. That we have to. We came to realize that, because of the geopolitics or like the global political things, the big countries, like they are only there for us to, to issue the statements that, whatever happened in the country, like, they said, okay, we do condemn this act from the military. That's all. There's no actions. But people are dying, houses are burned down, villages were destroyed, and mother became they lost their children, and our many of my friends have died. Many of my friends, they died in the cd, like why fighting back the Burmese military, or like some of the people have lost their legs, or some people got shot to their head. Why we are fighting them back in the jungle, but who cares? you know, like, they just, listen to X, and then, um, that's all. Like, so many young people inside the country are still struggling to bring back somehow democracy that we are gifted, over the decades. Because Myanmar was never been into democracy. Like, even the 2008 constitution that military have ruled. So that is also not a real democratic constitution, that military is still, taking 25% of the, the seats in the parliament. But we got somehow freedom, from 2010 to 2020. So the young generation who grew up in that time, like maybe like, around 17 to 20 years old, so like they wanted to defend the little bit of freedom that they got, they gifted during that time. So that is actually the motive of our revolution, that left longer, until 2 years, because we went, after I see, because I have been in the jungle. When the coup happened, I joined I joined the protest, and then they came to look for me. Like they raided my house, they raided my office, and then in the march around this time, my house was already raided like 2 years ago, and in the middle of March, I had to flee to the jungle. I stayed 7 months in the jungle. After that, I stay in the, like after that, I sneak into, into Thailand twice illegally. And then, like, since then, I've been staying in the, Thai, in the Thai Myanmar border, and still supporting people over there, and also supporting people who are taking refuge in the Mesa, Thai Myanmar border. But, after uh, you know, years of seeing all these, difficulties, and then we keep dealing with all of the hardship and oppression of the military, and then like, um, then I arrived to Mesa. I arrived to Bangkok like early of this month. This is my first ever trip after the after the coup, and also as well as after the COVID. So like I was actually locked up in the country, and I don't really going out and meeting with people. But like after I seen it, I felt really, heartbreaking because I keep seeing all of the tragedies of the young people in the jungle. Like they are struggling a lot. They have nothing to eat, but the only thing they want is like okay, give me weapon, give me weapon. I want to fight them back. But when I move to the city, when I get here, that I feel like people, young people, the same age of the people over there, like they're enjoying their life. That there are a lot of young people you can see here. They have no much worry. Of course, Thailand is also a dictatorship country, but they can still access to somehow freedom, and that they can stay focus on their work. But our young people life over there is already gone. The generation, this is already a lost generation of Burma. You know, we have to restart everything, rebuild everything from the scratch. Even after we win the revolution. But I do believe that we will win the revolution for sure, because this is the time that the whole country uh, is divided, like regardless of race or religion. We have decided that to fight back, to fight against the military dictatorship until the end of the day. We don't look for any help from anyone. We are only, holding hand in hand and like each other, and we fight. Yeah, in every possible ways. Like not only taking up, but in many possible ways as well. Like the artists, as you see, a lot of artists inside and also outside the country, stay striving, to promote the issue about Burma, because the art is also important to bridge people. We may have the language barrier to communicate each other, but when you see the art, then you will understand it straight away. What does it mean? So that is really important. And also, I'm also working with some of the artists who are taking refuge in Mayflower. Like they involved in the revolution, they went into the jungle. After that, they were also like taking refuge in Thai Burma border. And then a lot of artists over there, including poets and painters, like, and also some visual artists as well. Like they are really struggling a lot. Our life in border is really difficult. It's really, really difficult because we got arrested every day as an illegal people. Like we just crossed the border illegally. And also like I have a question about about the human rights, that, according to the human rights, we have the, like, the right to, to move around, the freedom to move. But, when we, in reality, when we just cross the border, that is like unseen border just across the river, but we became illegal. We became alien there. So what does it mean? We didn't do any crime, but automatically we became criminal. And then, the like we that thing actually being used as a weapon to, oppress again, by the authority over there. Like, when we got arrested, we got to bribe them to release the people out. And then it keeps going and going, and that vicious cycles never end until now. But the artists, they are more in a difficult situation because, like the situation uh, doesn't give them to, to concentrate, to work on their, artworks. But, the artists are still struggling and like doing a lot of art pieces. And yeah, and then I got, discussion and like some chit chat with some artists that, so they said, don't worry, this kind of situation actually give us the best, imagination for the art, because the all of the hardship actually are making the artist to be more creative. So they are doing a lot of artworks over there, and like I just talked with Leah about it, and then we will also be organizing some exhibitions here from the artists from the borders that will also give you guys a little bit more different opinion and impressions about the situation over there. But yeah, I don't want to take too much of time, but I just want to talk a little bit is that um, take this opportunity since the audience is here that we do need but we as I said that we don't look for any country for any government to support us, but we do look for the people's solidarity around the world because we the people regardless of nations our nationalities like more or less every country have the oppression from the government. So we the people who are oppressed that we have to hold hand in hand together to stop all these injustice and atrocities, not only in Burma but also our whole Southeast Asia and also from the world. That I felt really sometimes I felt really bad when I see the some artists from like Ukraine, they are like doing some performance in American Got Talent and then raising the awareness about their own issues. But how about us? Why can't we do that? So we even though we cannot reach out to the world to the global level, maybe we can also connect with our regional level, at least from Thailand. We need to get connected. Of course, like we used to have, somehow civil society connections before, Thai and Myanmar civil society, and we did, we got a lot of, commonalities and like also collaborations as well. But it needs to strengthen again, like not only in the civil society but also the artist community as well. To understand each other. Of course, we have, similar and the oppression from the dictatorships that we can actually share each other and we can actually mobilize to the people from from each countries, and then we can make a change. After the Turkish saturation there will be the light that we are actually Burmese people are like actually hoping that we can use all of our energy to bring the light back to our community and our people over there. But we need help and support. We do need that. The help doesn't mean weapons and and ammunition. Of course, we do need that, but this is just one of the means of the revolution. There are many other ways to get supported our revolution as well. No, like the people movement around the world, or whatever activities that we can help us to support us. That would be really great. Yeah, and thank you for listening to me.
Hello. Good evening. Thank you for inviting me and have a chance to be present here. So my name is Zombo. I'm working as a country manager at the Asia Justice and Rights currently. I'm the former political prisoner as well. I was in the prison for 5 years before 2010. So today, like just Kutasue mentioned, like what we like, you already have the knowledge or the information that what we are facing or what our people are facing in Burma. But the thing is, what we're going to do. But in this event, actually, I was prepared to talk about how we can connect with ARCs and our movement, especially our work. Because being a JA, like I'm at a JA because I really believe that we need to do it, and also we can, and I can do more on finding justice, seeking justice. So since after the coup, like we have been involving in the protests and also supporting each other. And then finally we have to hide and then flee the country. So that's many people are facing. We have all the hardship, living in border area, supporting each other. But I never forget to think about how we can stay seek for the justice. So the strategy or the plan in seeking justice, the process include two main things. One is establishing the ground or the foundation. Another one is delivering message. So for establishing ground, what we are doing is providing knowledge about transitional justice, providing knowledge about human rights, providing knowledge about how we can seek justice. For the delivering message, we have two kind of things we need to focus on. One is deliver the message to the people. Another one is deliver the message to the key stakeholders who are saying that they represent us. They are leadings of our society. So we need to provide the message. So according to our experience, it's very difficult to get the message to stakeholders and also to the public, even though we have been trying to provide trainings, workshops, meeting, discussions, panel, debates, whatever it is. But I learned from my organization, my current organizations, that the art can speak louder. The art has the power to deliver the message. So when we were young, we always said, like in Burmese, we said Ponto Pasa. It means like story. So to teach the kids, we always make the story. To teach the kid, we always create the story so that the kid can learn very easily, quickly, and they won't forget. So for those kind of purpose, we are doing, like we're connecting with other artists, especially in Maya South. Like Kutas, we mentioned, they fled to Maya South and they are hiding and they are refuging, and also they are facing difficulties. So like for the education purpose, instead of providing trainings online, instead of providing in-person trainings, there's another way to connect with arts and our, like, I want to say, like capacity building for justice seeking issues and others. So we created some videos about how to do documentations, not as a kinds of training videos, but we have lots of training video as well, but not as a kinds of training video, also as a storytellings, how people need to do, how people can do about human rights documentation and how important it is. And also it's about like transitional justice. We have created so many education videos that who can learn themselves. But at the same time, what we find out is like providing this kind of training videos and talking about trainings and all those kind of topics, people will not get interested. So what we are trying to do is we connect with, like we try to contact with artists and then get their opinion, their suggestion, how we should move forward. So like, for example, in the past, we're trying to create documentation films or documentary films. Now, rather than that, now the artists suggest us, how about we create kinds of story? So it's about truth, it's about justice, it's about reparation, it's about victims' life, it's about our future. So for Ajabama team or Aja, we have conducted one film competition with 10 filmmakers or 10 film groups. So we have short films. Those films reach to the people's heart. So in our trainings or in our political experience, we need to bear in mind about 3 H, right? Heart, head, heart, and hand. So we try to put all those concepts into their heart, into their head. But we forget about how we can put all those our issue and strategy, concept, policy into the people's heart. So now we can use, or the artists or the art can help us to bring our idea, our concept, our ideology, or the future plan into the people's heart. So we have, like, for example, we have now 10 short films, which is about the truth, what is happening, or what their hopes and what they want to see for the justice. So that kind of things also include a little bit about the ideas of transitional justice. So that kind of videos bring the people heart into the justice seeking, and also justice seeking ideas put into the people heart. And then another thing is, like, when we were young, we trying to read the comics instead of reading the school books. So the comics, we still can remember, like, for example, I still can remember when I was 5 years old, or like, no, not 5 years old, like when I was like 7 years old, I still can remember what the comic said and what the comics taught me, right? So we also have that kind of products. We call it like graphic novel. It's about transitional justice, but it's with a story. So I believe that this can bring the people heart, and or we can provide those transitional justice ideas or concept into the people, at least to the people heart. So we are having utilizing, or I don't know whether it is rude to use utilize, but the arts, we have been contacting with the artists at the art and connect the art and our justice seeking process. Like for example, we have conducted painting competition with the kids. So like 10 schools, like actually migrant schools in Mesa. So those schools joined our competition, and then like that competition provide the message to the kids about like what they are facing, and what they want. But the teachers connect their expression with the rights. So that kind of things we have, like we can do that. So in the future, I think we need to provide more knowledge and input to the kids as well, because they are the leaders. Like sometimes I hate to see that people call the kids like, hey, kids. In Burma we call it Kale. No, they're not Kale. Right? They're not kids. They're the leaders of us. Like they are the leaders of our society. So we should respect them. Like for example, when the kids painting that, like when the kids painting, like the artists see him as an artist. But when people are saying that it's a kid, no, they are the leaders. So I always say they're the leaders, because when I was young, I have been told that you are the leader, lead the society. So now I'm also providing that message to the kids whenever I see you are the leader, need to lead the society. So yeah, the last word what I want to say is that last not least, art is power, and art is powerful. If we can connect the art and our life, then we can achieve our aim and our goal quickly and more easily than ever. Another, like the last thing I want to mention is really important. I met with some filmmakers, like the famous directors in Mesa. So he discussed with me all those artists, or all those like musicians and filmmakers, like actors. They joined the revolution, and then now they have to flee the country. But now in Mesa, like for example, in border area, they lost their professionalism. They have to work others, like other job for their income or for their food. So now they already lost their professionalism. So we need to think about how we can build or create the space or opportunity for those artists to continue their professionalism until we have we have the victory, or even after the victory. Thank you so much.
Hello. Hi. Well, actually, when I went to art exhibition opening, mostly I would say to the artist like congratulations. But for this opening, I should say like, you guys so brave. Yeah, and thank you. I'm a theater artist, so most of the thing that I did is like telling a story. The related one that I work, my recent work that will perform next month, it's called I Say Minkalaba, You Say Goodbye. It is start from when I first, I plan to work with Burmese artists, Myanmar artists, but then it's COVID, and then this coup. So the title is kind of like express my feeling like, oh, I cannot connect with the Burmese Myanmar artists anymore. And somehow I did it. It's quite difficult to work because at that time, I mean, in 2019, I had a chance to be in Yangon and give a workshop with the young people there. They are like theater actors, and kind of like start doing a theater there. It's a small community, like only 15 or 20 people, but they are young and like enthusiastic. And I dreamed that I could work with them again. Anyway, somehow it didn't happen. Then I found my old friend who had, she was studying in Thailand like 5 years ago, and I just like, how are you doing? Is that everything okay? At first, I want to collaborate with her as a writer, like what happened in Yangon during the coup, and then we start to think that maybe you should perform in the show. Why? By using an online, because at that time, during the COVID time, there's a lot of like hybrid performance. So you can be like July to perform in the show or something. And at that project, we talk a lot and share a lot of like personal stuff and also the situations. It is very hard for us to work online. I mean, we rehearse online at like 6 o'clock. She had to be some places because it's like, what do you call that? Like you cannot go out. Yes, curfew. Thank you. Yeah. So, and also the Wi-Fi is not so good and things. So at that project, I found that it is like like for Thai and Myanmar, Burmese history, there is at least in my generation, I was taught like Burmese is enemy. This is enemy. Like why? I don't know why. Like 400 years ago, we fighting, and that's the story that until now today, and some people still stick on that idea. And somehow at that project, we look at the history and the story that was taught and found that the people that they fought in like 400 years ago, now they shaking hand, and it's just only the people that have to fight the authority. I don't know what to share, but there's from listening to you guys and thinking about the exhibition title Resistance Art. It just, I ask myself, who do we resist? So if we have to resist, so it means there is some people that obedience. The one that like, I think that the Thai people might related to for the exhibition is just the one that the question like they taught us to be obedience. And for me, the art itself is also kind of like an archive that let us remember that this brave thing happened. Like attackman in Tiananmen. That's man. And that we still remember. And also, it's not in this exhibition, but I remember that there's news about the young activist in Myanmar that jumped from the building. And in the other day, there's maybe some graphic designer painting that they all jumped into the sunflower field. And that's, I felt like art is give you imagination, felt to other, like at least they are in a better place somehow. And yeah, and empathy to each other. For me, in Thailand, art may not as resistance as in Burma, in Myanmar, but I felt that what we did here is more like questioning, asking what we had learned. And I believe that art may not change things abruptly, but it will be gradually change things. In my experience, like 10 years ago in the cinema movie theater, not standing up is a problem. So it took 10 years to make two people to think about it and questioning it and change things gradually. I mean, in culture, in the way that we behave. And yeah, I don't know what to say, just like, thank you. And you guys so brave. I think maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think that this is it's a very small painting, but this is the one she referred to about the five young people who jumped from a building because the military were going to catch up, and they had made promise that if they saw that the military were going, they would jump, and they jumped, 5 of them. I think 3 died and some survived. But this is the design with the sunflower, which was indeed in a previous exhibition for the first year of the coup. But now I open the floor for any comment or question to them, or just reflection on the topic of today. Anyone? Oh. Yes, please, Jackie.
You talked about linking Thai and Myanmar artists, and I mean that has happened in the past, as you said. But I wonder if there's a bigger picture to link artists across ASEAN, because really it's the people of ASEAN who may be able to push something to happen. It's not going to be the governments, and art throughout this region is a very powerful, diverse culture that we have. So whether there's any plans to really reach out to artists in the other ASEAN countries.
Okay, let's take if there are other question or reflection before, otherwise we can. Anyone? No, then please. Okay, introduce yourself.
I worked in Myanmar for quite a few years, and I was there during the coup. It's just completely horrifying kind of tragedy, really. But I mean, maybe a similar question in a way, because one of the good things that's maybe come out of the coup is kind of the bringing together of different people in Myanmar and divisions which, you know, sometimes have lasted since the time of British colonialism. But what do you see the role of artists as maybe bringing together people in Myanmar and forging that unity as part of the resistance?
Okay, so now,
Yeah, okay. So I will answer both questions, and maybe for the second question, Kuvamova would like to answer. For the first question, yes, I've been actually talking with Leah and some of our colleagues to do some exchange, and probably we will bring one artist from Philippines to Mayfeld. So we have discussing about it. So we are trying to initiate it, but not happening yet. Yeah, but hopefully we could reach out to the broader artist community across South Asia after that. Yeah. For the second question, yes, thank you for pointing it out. And also I forgot to mention about it. That coup actually is united people. And it also make a lot of changes among the community as well. For example, the Rohingya issue, like, before the coup, the whole country, like majority of the people were anti-Rohingya, and they stood up with the military, and that, they supported the military's atrocities and genocide. But after the coup, they all, enlightened, and like they, even like some strike groups made a demonstration that they apologized to the Rohingya community, and then like united with all of the ethnic groups as well. But I still have doubt on it though, because this thing is just I feel it a good point, but still have doubt because I don't want to use these issues as a scapegoat, to win the international support. So we want the genuine change in the community. But of course, there are many other issues that, for example, as you said, like, the coup actually make like maybe like a decade ahead of changes in the communities. I mean, the social change and development in the society level. Because, for example, the nationalism, the ultra-nationalism movement like Mabada, so many people believed that, we have to protect our race and religion. And many people believe that, our military, the Burmese military, was the, protector and guardian of the nation and guardian of our religion. But, it revealed now for many people, especially young people, are criticizing, the high-ranking, well-known Buddhist monks who are, and not only Buddhist monks, but also many other religious leaders like Cardinal, who is taking side with the Burmese military. So these are the changes and development in the society. But I stay worried because the unity among us is actually centered on the to against the Burmese military, to against the junta, to against the coup, to against the regime. So this is not about the changing based on the rights or based on, like the societal change yet. So this is what I worry, because we are united to against the Burmese military, but we are still fighting in between us, even among us. Like, we still have many social issues to address. Like the anti-Rohingya issue is still there, even among the Muslim community, that many Muslim people still don't accept it. Of course, things change a lot, but we still need to put a lot of effort on it. And also the anti-ethnic issues, that we have the Burmese chauvinism in the community, in the whole country, that because we are the Burma people are the majority. But when we talk about the federal democracy and federalism, that, all the equality among all of the ethnic people, that when we talk about it, they are a lot of Burmese people are still reluctant to accept it for this thing, because like that is also important for the revolution as well, because the revolution is about the federal, to build a federal democratic nation. But the revolutionary government like NUG and also some of the revolutionary groups which are led by the Burma majority people, so they are still not really acting and implementing the federalism in the in their territories. And also when we talk with the ethnic M groups, then like they are still kind of taking upper hand. So this kind of behaviors are still there. So we have many other issues, like including LGBT issues that so we have to change the perspective of the society, to make the real change. Like, of course, we all hate, the Burmese military. That is fine, but there are a lot of things needs to be addressed too. And also, the revolution itself should not based on the hate. If we hate, if the like if we act like the Burmese military did to us, like if we want to revenge it, then the morale of the revolution will be failed. So we have to be very much careful, and also the rule of art is very important in there. That we can use art, to communicate with the people about the morale of the revolution. This is really not to revenge it, because like many young people, like they just joined the revolution, without having adequate knowledge about, the politics, and also about the federalism, and also about the human rights and etc. So we joined, because we just cannot accept the coup of the military to fight back. And then when the military burned down, or when our friends or comrades got killed, that we want to revenge it. But this hatred and this revenge mindset, it will drive us to the war situation. So that is also one thing that we have to be careful, and the rule of art is very much important, to tackle that issue as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the questions. So as a AJA, we're also connecting with the region there, actually. But thanks for your questions, and this gave me the ideas to bring in the artists from the region there. As you said, not to against the government, but also to impact, actually to inform the people of their country, so that we can build the solidarity. So that's simple thing, but really great point. Thank you so much. Because like we're also planning to bring in like the regional key players to get like attention about the Burma. Yeah, thanks for your question. As like many things, that's an already answer. One thing I would like to highlight is this revolution is not only about revolution against junta. We call it cultural revolution, because before that, like before the coup, as Coach Tasewin said, majority of the Burmese people didn't accept Rohingya. Majority of those are anti-Rohingya. And then also majority of the people, like their patriarchy, right? So they don't accept the woman leadership. They didn't accept the woman leadership. But in this revolution, this movement, those who came in front of the protest line, who led the protest, those are women. So majority, like the Burmese community, simply accept that, and that changed the mindset. In the past, like the women are like kinds of second line. But in this revolution, the people accept that women can lead the society. People accept the woman leadership. So that the revolution, what I see is, okay, this is cultural revolution, not only about revolution against junta. And also people witness about, because in the past, people think that those Muslims are also the same or together with Rohingya. But now what people see is, okay, Muslim people are also contributing, sacrificing their lives for our country. So they are one of us. We are one. And then they accept the contributions, the sacrifice of those Muslim peoples or those Rohingyas. Also, we are facing lots of very similarities, things that like did it to Rohingya by the military in the past. Now we are facing. So like, for example, I'm the former political prisoner. I have the experience of torture, but I never had the kind of torture that being used by this junta, this SEC now. I never heard about that. I have never experienced. Now they are, how to say, is if there is like the word that more expressed than brutal, they're really brutal. We have many evidence how they torture the people. We have many evidence. So like, for example, when I watched that video, I couldn't eat, I couldn't stand, like feeling really, because I never heard of that kind of things, but I see it with my eye. So, but people now believe that, because in the past, with the Burmese people think, oh, okay, military is bad and was, but nothing might be happen like people are saying, or nothing might be happen like medias are mentioning. But now people already accept that, oh, the Rohingya also face this kind of things, because now we see. So that's also changed the people mindset. And for the artist role, like, for example, like the things about the people, like the young people jump from the building. So on that night, we feel really sad, right? Like some of our friends, right? Then, but next day, the artists draw the paint, like the art is like the star, like the falling star, like it's a falling star, but also going to the sky. So instead of like feeling sad, we were proud of that. They sacrificed it. They sacrificed it for their people, their comrades, but they are the star. So that's art encourage or provide another feelings. So the artist role, because they're quite fast. Like, for example, when we want to conduct like the activities, artists can speak, just one cartoon, the whole country have the message. So that's the rule that I can see. But also that the worst thing. In prison, we used to say two people are separated to three groups. One, we are free, or one, we are in the easy situation. But no one need to be discussed. When we have the difficult situations, we are united. So we need to avoid that kind of things. We need to be united. We need to, like Kota Sewen said, we need to be united under the concept or ideology or under the belief, not about the hardship and easy situation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And we have lost the connection, but she's trying to connect through the telephone. This is why we are not calling on July yet.
Just sharing about the artists in this region connect. Last year, in BIPAM, Bangkok International Performing Arts Meeting, it was happened online last year. There's a group called Free Arts, which is a Thai artist that working in demonstration, and it's like a so they collaborate with some artists in Myanmar, do the exhibition online. When the what that said, something that happened online, and you can just visual artist, virtual, it's a virtual art exhibition that they try to collaborate together and try to sell it in digital money. I don't know how much they got, but that's good for support the artists in Myanmar. And also lately I saw some comic, the Myanmar stand, that working by the Taiwanese Myanmar, and I think there's Thai and English. That's I think you can find it, and it's all about revolution in Myanmar. And you can support them as well. This is so far that I know about.
Yeah, maybe adding to what was saying, the idea is to expose artists from, because artists from, this was the feeling, that artists from Myanmar are talking about Myanmar, but would be more powerful if artists from other country also take up that call and also start to raise their voice about Myanmar. So the idea was to bring some artists from Southeast Asia to visit Mysore and other place where they can be exposed to the reality so that they can feel what is happening and then produce art in their own country when they go back. So the idea is to experiment with this Filipino artist to start with, and then eventually see how it works. But the idea is to have multiple voices from different countries in Southeast Asia, and particularly from Indonesia at this point, since Indonesia is the ASEAN chair, but still, unfortunately, not many artists in Southeast Asia are taking up this call. So they need to be exposed more, and that is part of the idea, but it's still in process. So I open for a last round of comments. Unfortunately, we still have not been able to get in contact with July. So please. Yes.
My name is Ramesh Singh. I'm curious about the relationship between diaspora, because, you know, in the second anniversary, those of us who are following, really those people who kept the new second anniversary news mostly were diaspora protests. Not everywhere, unfortunately, but where it was strong. So I'm trying to understand the art and diaspora relationship and the mobilization between, I mean, of course, artist to artist, yes, of the different countries, but what about the power of diaspora via art connections? It would be useful to know if there is anything else.
Okay, any other question or reflections or no? Oh yes, please.
I have a question that I would like to ask you, and maybe if July comes alive, live again, we can ask. From my contact with Myanmar art after the coup, the art is different from immediately after the coup, because there was more fire, there was more war posters, protests. You know, there were more slogans. To 1 year, which is a lot more somber, a lot, you know, friends are arrested, people were traumatized, people left the country, and now we have 2 years. So my question is, perhaps for you, can you share a bit about or reflect how your approach to art or folks around you approach to art, the evolution of 2 years, how art to you or the art's role in the revolution to you change in these 2 years, and how do you see it in the future?
There are some more questions, but let me see. Yes, I mean, there is a comment on the Rohingya, maybe you can reflect. Many people were not ignorant about the Rohingya, some just didn't care about this. So this is the comment. I mean, to want to know more about the situation of people in Myanmar, about the Rohingya, which is not only a question of ignorance, but there was more to it, and whether this has really changed or is still deep down the same. So this is an additional question. Okay, please, this time we start.
Um, I'm not sure how could I respond to the first question about the diaspora, but actually the jacket that I wear is from the artist in exile, a Thai artist who now live in, like, could not come back. So I think, well, thanks for the internet. Maybe we somehow can work, and it's, yeah, looking for the bright side that we connect each other easier. And yeah, I try to see things in the right side. And for your question, actually, I should I don't have any, but it remind me about the theater that I found in Myanmar, like in 2019 or things. And I found that it's quite hard for me to see the contemporary theater in Yangon itself, and most of the performing arts in Burma, in Myanmar, is more like performance art, which is for me say something that this society, that society, like in that time, you cannot talk much. It cannot express in words. That's why most of artists do performance art and open for interpret. So I think that already says something, but I'm not sure how's now.
Yeah, thank you so much for the questions. So like we have like 2 questions and 1 comment, right? So like Kuta Sewin will answer about the diaspora issue that raised by the gentleman, and also you will answer your questions. I'm, I would like to discuss a little bit about Rohingya issues. Right? I mentioned in my answer, I just like the recent answer, the Burmese people now accept the contribution of the Rohingya or contribution of the Muslim people. But frankly speaking, majority of the Burmese people accept and also they witness the contribution of the Muslim people. Because in the past, we were live under like kinds of wrong idea, like provided by the military junta before the coup, and also provided by the Socialist Party, like for many years. We live with the wrong history. So many people think that Muslim people are worse. But in this revolution, people already witnessed Muslim people are contributing, and they are also one of us, and also they accept the Muslim leadership. So that changed the people mindset. But there's still the issue whether they accept Rohingya or not. But in the past, if we wrote something about Rohingya, we will receive lots of complaints by commerce criticism. But after the coup, if we discuss about or wrote something about Rohingya, people accept that, never blame for that. So we start with that. But as even though we have this kind of good situation or opportunity, but that is only the opportunity. It's not a change yet. We need to use that opportunity to make a change. So the thing is, we need the activists who stand for the Rohingya rights. At the same time, we need the international community who voice out about the Rohingya. At the same time, in the other hand, actually, Rohingya also need to act as a citizen. Rohingya also need to act as a Burma, like people of Burma. For example, we need to provide the knowledge to the Rohingya. What really happened in Burma? Who are the ethnic leaders? Who are the NUG? Who are NUCC? And then we need to encourage and also build or create a situation for the Rohingya people to connect or to involve in the policy making body, policy making level. If they are not in the policy making level, then I think like we got it second, second class citizens, because they cannot make their own policy. They have to wait for other people to decide their policy. So we need to create the kind of channel, and also we need to provide capacity and also connect. Then people will think that they are one of us. We are one. We are one. And also Rohingya, they also need to think we are one. We are facing the same things. We need to fight together. And also we need to involve. So especially we need to be very careful about the important part of bringing those into the policy making level. Thank you.
Thank you. For the first question about the diaspora, there are some diaspora artists as well. I think some diaspora Burmese artists are also exhibiting here in this exhibition, and also they also doing some art exhibitions in Europe as well. Current is happening now, like some well-known a well-known Burmese artist, activist. He was also an activist before. Like he got arrested like a few months ago, and then was released, and then he left with his to do the Europe with his wife, and he's doing an exhibition in the Europe. So it's also happening. But the thing is that but in the other hand, like some artists are also doing art shows inside the country. But there's like one contradiction and one funny thing happening, because we say like many of the artists, including actors, actresses, like when the coup happened, when we joined the protest, it felt like, okay, we will not do any artworks under these dictatorships, and then they boycotted it. And then like a well-known Burmese actor called Paintagon, like he's also famous in Thailand as well. So like that guy also got arrested, and like when he came out, and then like that he resumed doing his activities, and like doing some commercial ads as well. And like the visual artists as well, it felt like they did not want to do any artworks. But after 2 years now, there are a lot of art exhibitions in Myanmar, in Yangon now. Then they did not give a care anything. Maybe like some of them still contributing, we don't know secretly, but like they also contradictions, like the artists. It felt like we boycott them, but after maybe like we thought that it got be over after a few months, but over the long run, like they are resuming their awards and like trying. But what our side we feel is like as a normalization under the dictatorship. That is also one thing, because the power of art is very important, and the power of the social influencers is also very important. Like those actors, actresses, like they are, doing these jobs. Of course, that they are just doing their own businesses, but it's also could affect to our revolution as well, because the dictators over there want to show the world that the country is back to normal, because like the cinemas were already closed for years, but now they are showing some movies back, and doing some activities that showing the world that people are happy now. Actually not. For the role of these people is still important, but that is like also a divide and also a friction in between these artist community inside and outside of the country. So that is also a good point, that the diaspora artists also are doing their artworks, and that they are joining with the diaspora community. But that is also important that to get connected and to get informed each other. like inside and outside of the country, to be more synchronized. But so that is the situation. And also your question about evolution of the arts, for the 2 years. I don't. I feel like more and more revolutionary artworks, throughout 2 years, and but the creativities are more getting more open because we used to have taboos before. Like we were worried about the censorship, or if not censorship, we worried about the society. Like, for example, if we want to criticize something to those religious leaders, we dare not, because the society is taboo in the society. And also, like, when we want to say something bad about the Burmese military, we cannot. But now we can do whatever we want, because like it really, the revolution makes, I mean, not to the artists inside the country, but I mean the artists who are involved in the revolution and who are really doing, revolution themselves. I mean, like internet revolution, that they are, because that is also a challenge for them. Like, revolving themselves is a challenge, like, because we were actually taught, not to test these things, not to say bad things about, religion, or like, those who are in the power or whatever. But it really makes us, a lot of effort, or like encourages to, to, okay, I don't give back. Sorry for my language. Like that, kind of things. And okay, we're just straight away doing it. One of my friends, he's a vocalist, a singer guy. He made a very courageous song about a very famous Buddhist monk who is taking side with the military junta. So like it was very, brave that he did, because like in the normal situation, he will not be able to do it. He might not have courage enough to do it, but because of the revolution, and it evolved. But that is what I see. But in the other hand, the Burmese military is still, using the artists, or like, somehow those social influencers, to, spread their propaganda, to accept the things. But when we compare to them, their things are really, very, low standard, low quality artworks that, because they are just only focusing on those, what is it, propaganda. But our side is like they have really motive and and a passion, in those art pieces. In each and every art pieces that came out in these revolutions are very priceless, because we can see their passions and courages in it. So that is what I see. In the normal time, we will not be able to see, those kind of artworks in the society. But because of the coup, yeah. And for the Rohingya issue, as Ko Zomo said, the Rohingya people, they stay there, and that we are kind of stay disconnected. Like and some Rohingya leaders, they are visiting to Thailand, and like visiting. One Rohingya woman leader visited to Mae Sot, and I met her there, and also some visited to Chiang Mai, and I'm meeting with some organizations over there. So like they are, like we are starting to connect each other, but we need a lot more solidarities, because the NUG government, they relieved the Rohingya what is it the policy, but this is just by the one ministry of the government, but not as a whole policy of the revolution. So we still need to develop it. We still need to make it happen, because if there is policy but there is no implementation, it will not happen anything. So we still need to push through to make it happen. And of course that is not we have to make sure that that issue is not being scapegoat. We have to have the pure political will to include everyone, no one left behind for this revolution to build the real federal democratic nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we have not been able to reconnect with July, unfortunately, but she's very present in the exhibition downstairs. I think she speaks very loud with the artwork. As a token of appreciation, let's give you the catalog of today exhibition. Yes, that is, please. Place the catalog and support SEA-Junction. You can also leave a donation on the way out to support our activities. The next exhibition will be actually on the Chao Phraya River, so very different topic. Will be a presentation of a book. And then after that, on the 5th of March, right, we have an exhibition of kills by Rohingya women in a refugee camps, actually an activity of Ajar, Indonesia. So that will be also for Women's Day, which is on the 8th. So it will be officially launched on the 7th, actually, of March. So please continue to follow us and come to our event. And thank you again for coming today. A last applause to our speakers. Oh yeah, very important, there is Burmese food outside. So please do and enjoy. Is outside, there is noodles and noodle